everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's your host, Arlette, and we are joined here today by Mola and Dani. Welcome, you two. How we feeling?
Good.
Great.
Okay, good. It's good to have you both back. We had you on episode 88 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you ended up matching. Is it a yes for you for her?
Yes.
Okay, and is it a yes for you for him?
Yeah.
We got a match! Take the mic. Oh, go ahead and get up. Make some noise for them. All right, so let's kind of get into your episode a little bit. How do you feel it went for you? And also, what even made you want to go ahead and apply to be on Pop the Balloon? Mola, let's start with you.
I was gonna say ladies first, but you brought it here. How did it go for me? It was interesting because it was everything I expected. Because I followed a few people who've been on the show, like Rhino and others, but it was the little things that kind of got to me. So yeah, I was caught off guard a little bit, but overall
Okay.
it was a fun experience.
What kind of little things? Now I'm curious.
You're curious? Oh, there were just two or three. I always envisioned walking out and being the one asking questions. So being on this end, I couldn't control the depth of the conversation. That was one. And the other thing was I couldn't actually hear the women when they were speaking. So I didn't want to look like I was distracted or joking, so I didn't ask the guys what they heard, and I was hoping when they came down I could pick up on some conversation.
Okay.
Just those two things, really.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And Danny, what about for yourself? How was the experience for you? And what made you even want to come on Pop the Balloon?
Honestly, the experience was good. It was so fun. I really can't complain. What really made me go on this show is because I'm an avid watcher. I was watching it every week. Wednesday, I'll be the first one in the comments. Um, but I also found frustration in watching the show because I always felt like people would pop for dumb reasons. Like they're popping because shoes, they're popping because like hair, like so I always again I'm the person that's screaming at the TV. So I'm like, okay, let me show you how it's done. Like, let me do it. But being on the show is completely different than watching it. So I have a whole different mentality about it now. We really have to give people who are up on their grace, y'all. It's not easy at all.
I
That
bet.
was the key takeaway for me too. A lot more grace. I heard my old
Okay.
corporate voice come out. I said, "Oh my God."
That is hilarious. That's what everyone says. Like it's different from watching it than being on it. So you guys got to experience that firsthand. So now let's go ahead and get right into the part that everyone is tuned in for. Since you guys ended up matching, have you gone on a date?
Ish.
Okay.
Not really.
What's ish? Get into it. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Danny, you could start this on.
Okay, go ahead, Danny.
Okay. I thought that he was gonna get into it.
I know, I thought so too.
Right, I'll take the lead. Um, I guess we can say ish because we really didn't go on a formal date.
Okay.
Again, filming was very long, and towards the end of it, most of everything was closed. So I think everyone was just tired and hungry. So step to the side, we heard people talking about, where they want to eat, and we were also hungry. So we heard plans of going somewhere to eat. We went there and nobody else was there but us. So I guess that's a
Oh,
date. Yeah.
okay. So, I mean, it was just you two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
But
why is that not a date? I'm so confused.
okay, fine, it's not a date. But
Yeah.
everything was closing too. I'm gonna say it's not a date.
Yeah. That's not really.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a date
Yeah.
because you guys had planned to meet other people there and then it ended up being just you
We
two,
didn't
or
we didn't have enough time to really bond, and then we were tired. My flight was at 11 o'clock, and it's already like 1:20, 1:30 by the time we got there. So
oh, okay, so you guys didn't spend enough time together, basically.
yeah.
It,
Oh,
it was two people meeting up at the same location.
okay.
Yeah.
So y'all just ate, no conversation, and that was it.
We
We
spoke some.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, it wasn't that it was a blur. I think, as she said, the realizations of how the show really works, all that dawned on. We're tired, so we made the most of our time, and I
Okay.
think I had my ride had come before hers. I'm like, yeah, I'll hit you up later, and then I got into Uber, and I'm like, wait, I didn't even get her number, so I had to run back and get it. I
Oh
was
my
tired, so
God.
it was
Okay,
funny.
so you guys went back to your homes. How
Yeah,
was the communication? Like, I know you guys said you just went on, that was the only time you guys hung out. After that, there were no other dates?
yeah.
Okay, what happened? Did you guys talk at all after this? Like, let me know. Let's hear from you, Mola.
Yeah, we spoke really two times
Okay.
since then. We're on the phone for quite a bit, but she had my schedule was more available at that time, and she had already had trips pre-planned. And when she came back from the trips, she was sick, so I did not have as much communication as I preferred.
Okay, so you guys spoke on the phone. Like, tell me more. I'm like, you rushing through it, but I'm not getting no details. Let's.
Yeah, we spoke on the phone. We spoke on the phone about twice.
Okay.
More of the time it was a little bit about the show and the reception. I think another surprise
Okay.
was we expected our show would air later, but we were the next thing, so that kind of caught everyone off guard.
Okay.
So we
So
got we got
in
to know each other a little bit. She told me about her experiences, Haitian American experiences growing up in Florida, and things of that nature, which was cool.
okay.
Things I'd seen on TV were, her real life experience, so that was cool to learn. But we didn't really get too much into one another in terms of like our core beliefs and things of that nature. We didn't get too deep.
Okay. Danny, I see you making faces. Let's hear from you. Tell me about it.
I wear my feelings on my sleeve. I'll start where I agree is that yes, after the show, we decided to keep the communication going. He's not a texter, and I'm good in like any form, texting, calling, I can do whatever. So I kind of lean on the person's preference. But the thing is that I'm just used to FaceTime, but is a Android user, so I didn't know I had to schedule a call with him on Teams. Like I use Teams for work. And when I clock out, that's it. So that was one thing. But as far as the communication goes, like talking about like morals, I feel like we got into it. If anything, I feel like that's what kind of like rubbed me the wrong way because some of the conversations that we were having, I was like, oh, I don't know about that.
Uh-oh. Like what?
To his point, yes, our show did air super quick. So I did love the fact that I was the last person to go out because I have no perception of what happened. So I'm giving him a clean slate. I don't know what transpired before me. I don't know what, right? So we planned. He asked if did I want to watch the show with him, and I said I had already planned to watch it with some family and friends because they are just now finding out that I even did this. Like I kind of snuck it. So I basically told him like I'm gonna watch it with them, and again, this is the first time I've ever seen the show. I didn't see anybody else go up, so just watching him interact with some of the other people on the show and my family and friends saying, oh my gosh, what's up with this guy, he's getting on this girl, he's getting on this girl, hopefully you didn't match with him. And in my head I'm like,
Uh-oh.
yeah, like, hold on, wait a minute. Because again, I don't know, like I'm watching it
Yeah.
them and it's in when we get to me, I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense why when I went up there he was drilling me and asking me so much questions because he was doing that with everyone else. I just thought that he was a man who was just doing his due diligence and making sure that he matches with somebody and it makes sense. So I didn't feel any way, like I felt very confident about the match, but going off camera and communicating outside of that, I was like, oh, okay, like this is a little bit concerning about some of the things that he was saying.
Concerning. Okay. What was concerning that you would say is something that he had said?
Um, this is in reference to us watching the show back. So
Uh
at
huh.
this point, I've already watched the show back with my peoples. I already have
Yeah.
an opinion, whatever. So I basically asked him, how did he view himself on the show, or how did he think that he did? Because again, we know that this is being viewed by so many people. Of
Yeah.
course, like you want to be authentic, but also you want to make a good impression too, because you don't know
Mm-hmm.
who's going to see this. You don't know if you're going to match on here. And he made a comment and basically said that, oh, he thinks he did well, which is great. He has a high esteem. But he basically said something about, oh, I was like, have you seen the comments? And he said, oh, the people in the comments, if they don't agree with me, it's probably people who are fatherless, or baby mamas or
Oh,
something like that. And I said,
Mola.
yeah. So, I'm digging deeper and I'm trying to figure out, why does he have this mindset? Because
Mm-hmm.
me going on the show, I wanted to represent and not perpetuate any stereotypes that are associated with the Black culture.
Mm.
That's so it just felt bad to hear it coming from a Black man, because these are some of the comments or rhetoric that we hear pushed from people outside of the culture. So I
Mm.
had to dig deeper and figure out, why do you
What's
think this
going
way?
on?
Yeah, what's going on? So just like in our conversation, we discovered that, okay, like, we have two different beliefs, and that's just what that was. I don't know if he can dive deeper into why he feels that way with you, but
Okay.
Yeah, there's not too much deeper to dive if you want me to. Yeah. So yeah, I don't remember the specific comment, but that sounds like something I would say. Um, I actually
Okay.
I still haven't watched the episode fully.
Okay.
I think that's one of your longest episodes. So yeah. But no, I didn't watch the episode. I just used the AI tool. I downloaded all the comments, and then I just kind of had to analyze in like, hey, what was any reference regards to me?
Okay.
So yeah, I just had the raw comments, and I saw the things that were being said, and it's like, oh, this person is controlling. He wants to take over so and so, and well, I know I didn't say anything like that, and
Mm.
we know how things actually transpired on set. So it was interesting to see perception versus reality. Like there were no there were no issues with anyone on set, but how people perceive it and the comments that were made. I'm
Mm.
like, okay,
Okay.
if that's how you took this, you're probably coming from a very kind of different lifestyle.
Okay, I see. So this all was discussed in the conversation you guys had. Like you told him that this is what you saw, your viewpoint, all of that.
No.
Oh, this is your
this
first time hearing this, Mola?
oh, well, no, it's not. It's not his first time hearing this, because one, yes, this was our very last conversation, and after that is when I reached out to him and I said, I don't want to continue talking for reasons why I just don't feel like we align morally. That was one of the things. The other thing is, I said he cussed like a sailor, and I feel like that conversation should be reserved for men in a barbershop
Mm.
somewhere. But it makes me feel uncomfortable. That's another thing. I just think that, there's some humility that is lacking, or you even being like self actualized, because even in the comment that you made, you said, their perception versus reality. Honestly, the show is subjective. So, because there are people who agree with you, there are people who've seen you and it was like, this is just a man who knows what he wants, and there are some people who somebody said he's probably a serial killer, but they can't prove it yet. So I don't think that it's split though. I think that there was an overwhelming amount of people who view you in a way they don't know you. So,
Yeah.
like, their opinion is nothing. But also, I know that specifically for the person who I want to be with, or the man who I want to lead me, I want him to have a high esteem for our culture,
Mm.
regardless of what other people are doing. So when I heard that, that was a red flag, because again, not only Haitian, that was another thing people were trying to argue about my ethnic background, my nationality. I'm Black. That is my race. My nationality. I was born and raised in the United States, and my parents are Haitian, both of them. So that's my ethnicity. So that's another thing I wanted to clear up. But those are just things that just was a red flag for me. So I had to exit stage left.
Okay.
Yeah, but to clarify something in regards to the last conversation. So, I mean, on Sunday, we hadn't really spoken much, and at this point, because she did mention that she's a texter, I'm not a texter. I'll do video calls or voice calls, maximum. Maybe you call me old school, but the fact that we're already across the country, this is
Where are you located
communication.
again?
I'm in Chicagoland area.
Chicago, and you're in Florida.
No,
Y'all
I'm
really
in
that far?
I'm
Oh,
in
you're in Dallas, but you're from Florida.
yes.
Okay,
We're
okay.
Chicago time.
You guys are in the same time zone.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the same time zone, but I mean the distance. It's not like I could say, "Hey, we didn't
Like,
we didn't have enough time last time. Let's go out and actually feel you in person." That's my point.
Okay.
So yeah, with that, her traveling and then her getting sick and us not interacting much, I was already kind of the minimum amount of communication, and like we said, we didn't get too deep into one another, or at least she was observing things and having her own conclusion, but we didn't really have much of conversation where I could feel her out. So I'd messaged her really quickly and asked her what she thought about one of us traveling. Really, I meant me coming to Dallas because I have friends all over Texas, so I wanted to go check them out, and I saw that as an opportunity for us to like hang out and actually feel each other out in person. And she had responded with like a 7-minute voice message. So that's where some of the comments that she's talking about, they were sent. I didn't listen to the whole thing because
Oh,
there's no
why
song
not?
in my playlist that's 7 minutes. So I skimmed through it, but that's where I heard everything at the end. So at that
And
point, I
that
said,
was
all
the
right.
last point of communication, was you sending that voice note to him?
yeah. So it was communicated. He just didn't care to actually receive it. And
Listen.
that's not my fault. I did my due diligence. I gave you that closure and said what it was. So we can't sit on this call and act like I never heard that, because that's your own choice.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, we're adults. We could speak. I don't.
Yeah.
If you can respond in 5 minutes, you could give a call.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. So to his credit, he did try to organize some type of meet for sure. I think at that point I was just already like not there.
So do you guys feel like you gave this like a fair chance or a fair shot? Because for me, what it sounds like is like, for Mola, once you guys were kind of having like, oh, well, you don't really communicate how I want to communicate. Like you guys kind of weren't meeting there. I feel like you kind of checked out. And then for you, Dani, I feel like once you saw the show with your family and you read the comments and like, you got a whole different like viewpoint of him, you kind of checked out there. So do you guys feel like you even actually got to know each other, or were there like other things that kind of just stopped you at that point?
I think we had genuine conversation. I think it was just
Okay.
circled around the show because that's all that was talked about. Instead of, we did have a really nice heart to heart immediately after the show. When we walked off, he was talking to me about his family, and that was
Okay.
great. So that set the tone. It just didn't follow after, which was disappointing. Because why are we talking about the show? Why are we talking about other people on the show? You know?
Mola, do you feel like you guys gave it a fair shot?
Uh, I don't know.
I guess I'll ask you, do you feel like you tried, or like you had any interest in trying to get
Yeah, I
somewhere?
did. I was the one who was more available.
Okay.
I don't. Our communication difference wasn't something that we even spoke about. It was more for me. It was frequency. I mean, I was
Okay.
available. She was preoccupied. So after a few weeks, and again, given the distance, it's one thing if we could just meet up very quickly and in person. But if you're all the way across the country and we can barely get one another on the phone, I'm not. My mind is already elsewhere at this point. So.
Okay.
For the
Dani, your
integrity
face
of
is
everything and the fact that we matched, yeah, I was willing to. That's why
give it
I
a
sent
shot.
the message about meeting, but it's no hard feelings otherwise.
Okay. And then just so I know like the time frame. So you sent the message for you guys to meet after the show had aired, or like what's like the time frame of all this happening? So
Two
it was a
weeks,
show filmed on
It's a,
Saturday. It was only
it's
2 weeks.
maybe three. If the show was on Saturday, we filmed it
You
on
filmed on
Saturday.
Saturday.
You released it that Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I think she went snowboarding or on a ski trip. She came back. She was sick, and
Before
yeah,
the show
so it was
aired or
probably
after
two
the show
weeks
aired?
after the
This,
show aired, I think.
You went
yeah.
on your trip. Okay.
So I had already seen it,
Okay.
Yeah,
and then after that week, so that following week, I don't want to make this. It's not a distance thing. It's
I'm speaking
just
on my behalf.
So it's
okay.
not distance for you, Danny.
Okay.
So for you is more so like the comment that he made or comments. I'm not sure if there was more. And also from you watching the show and seeing other things like that. That's what it was for you.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, I'm definitely sorry this didn't work out between the two of you.
So
But
yeah.
to kind of to kind of end this on a better note, are there like any, personal projects you guys are working on that the viewers can tune in, support you with? Let's start with you, Danny.
Yes. I wish I would have said it on this show. I did allude to it. I am a brand ambassador for this amazing hair care company called Amika. I'm gonna tell y'all could use my promo code, Danny, for some money off. That's what I should have did a shameless plug. But other than that, I guess for people who are interested in me, continue to follow me on Instagram. Because I be traveling, I be living my life, and I be minding my business. That's it.
All right. Mola, what about for yourself?
I got a couple things that I'm working on. If you follow me on social media, when I'm ready, as you can see with this setup, you'll be the first to know.
All right. Well, we'll be tuning in and we'll be keeping tabs on both of y'all, seeing what you guys are up to. But thank you all so much for coming on today and speaking with me, letting us know how things went down. Really appreciate your time. And everyone at home, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you all next time.
Peace.